everybody, it's Sarah back with another spinning video, and today I wanted to talk to you about ply on the fly on a top whorl spindle. We have talked previously in the past about ply on the fly on a Turkish spindle, and ply on the fly with a top whorl is just a tiny bit different. It's really just about where you park your loop that makes all the difference. It's super easy, it's super quick to explain, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so here we have our top whorl spindle. This is an AcreWorks mini spindle and some fiber. So our fiber, we're going to take the hook of our spindle and put it right in the middle and just give it some twist by hand. And this is just creating our leader. This is not supposed to look pretty or be beautiful or be anything more than functional, really. It didn't want to work the first time. Draft out some fiber. Twist, twist, twist. Getting a leader going. Sometimes I leave my leader right on my spindle and I don't even bother doing anything with it. Other times I'll take it off and wrap it around the shaft. For this exercise though, I'm just going to leave it directly on the hook. Now that I've spun some singles, I'm going to place my leader directly behind the hook. So it's at 6 o'clock behind the hook. And I'm going to wind a temporary cop directly onto the shaft. This can be as messy or as neat as you want it to be because it doesn't matter, it's temporary. So we're just winding and winding and winding until we're ready to spin some more singles, and then we just take this and pop it right back in the hook and continue spinning. Alright, so now we have two makes that are about as tall as I am, and they have been butterflied off, and we are ready to get started on ply on the fly. So what I do on a top whorl is, like I said, a lot of times I'll just leave that right on there. And for ply on the fly, it actually works really good to just leave it right on there. So you're going to take your single and make a loop. You don't have to tie it or anything. Just bring it up underneath of the hook. So you have a nice big loop. Let me do that for you again. I don't want to pop everything off. Let's see. Hold your spindle, push your leader to the back, catch one loop, and bring it underneath of the hook. So now you've got two. So this is the first loop of your ply on the fly. Reach through and grab some more of your singles and continue to pull up a loop. Now you've got a small section of 3-ply and a larger section of 3-ply. And from here you can add your ply twist. There it is. And then let your leader just swing back, and then you can wind on directly underneath. Alright, so let's do that one more time. Let me unply it. Alright, so here is our hook with our leader on it. We are going to grab our singles while holding the spindle and fold it over, just fold it in half, and put it underneath of your hook. Then you have a nice loop to be able to grab your third ply to make it 3. Just like that. Pull it on through, and then you've got 3. Alright, so the first thing I want to show you guys is how I have been parking my loop for my ply on the fly, on a top whorl spindle. So you wind on your cop, and here is my loop around my ring finger. And this area right here is going to get a little messy when we park it, but when we go to ply again, it's super easy to straighten out. So we're just going to roll this up until it can pop over top of the shaft or over top of your hook. And then here's our single, so we can put that in the hook too. So you see everything's sitting in the hook. And then you spin some singles, which I've already done. So then you carefully unroll your single. You just drop your single down and unroll it. And then here you can see we've got our hook still, or our loop for our ply on the fly, which is the blue, still sitting on the hook. And like I said, it's going to get a little messy under there, but we'll straighten it up once we go to ply again. Then you can take your singles and park them down below. Your regular cop here, or you can go right on top of your regular cop. It's really not going to matter where you put your singles until you're ready to ply. So here's my loop. Doesn't matter where it's going to sit as long as it stays on your hook. And then spin some more singles. I'm not going to spin very much because I want you guys to be able to see. Alright, so here we have another short length, and I'm going to go ahead and butterfly all this off. It's not very much. Then once we have our butterfly and we're kind of close to our hook, we're going to pick up our loop and hang on to it. And unwind this just a little bit so we can get it on the hook. Hang on to that. And I do not spin my spindle and then do my loops. If you've seen my ply on the fly on a Turkish spindle video, you know that I park my spindle, which I am going to pinch between my counter and my tummy, so I can then pull up a loop. And actually, let me, here. Okay, so I'm going to park my spindle, hang on to my loop, grab my single through it, and pull up a long chain. And because I don't have a lot of singles, it's just one long chain. And give it a ply twist. And because this shaft on the spindle is super skinny, it goes really quickly. So here we go. We're going to butterfly that back up. Now we're going to pop this off and see how this all straightened out. It's not all crazy anymore. It's just normally plied. Maybe over plied because this spindle is super speedy. But we're going to wind this on. And here's my loop parked around my pinky. And we can probably get to the back. Yep. We got to the side. See? With enough room to pop that over and keep it up in the hook. See, everything is in the hook, including the single, for you to spin again. That's it. It's super easy. You can also, if you have a spindle like these, pop out 2 of the BBs. I don't know if Aiden would say to do this, but you can remove 2 of them directly across from each other to keep the Whorl balanced, and park your single or your loop in one of the holes that it would create. If you have a gear spindle from Scott Snyder, he has little notches on the outside of his spindles, which also work great for parking your loops and for having a nice clear path for your singles to go through. You can, if you want to, not even bother with putting it in the hook, but you can just take it and trap it on your cop and then pretend that all this is spun. Bring your singles up here and then continue spinning. Then when you go to ply, you just have to be careful and catch your loop. It's not as quick and it's not as easy as parking the actual loop, but it is a possibility that you can just trap it on your cop and continue on. Alright guys, that is all there is to it. It's pretty easy stuff. I think you can do it. Why don't you give it a try and then give me a comment down below and let me know how you did. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't, give it a thumbs down, and please let me know why and how I can make it better for you. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you have specific things that you would like to see, drop me a line on Ravelry. I'm Mrs. Flick over there. And you can also find me on Instagram. I'm Mrs. Flick01. Until next time, guys, spin happy.